Are your kids all amped up and going crazy, excited about Santa coming and what presents they're going to get? Do you want to see your kids do more of what you ask and less of what makes you pull your hair out? Listen, the other day I was talking with a parent whose foster son had asked mom to do his hair. Now, he's black, so this is a pretty big deal and a big time commitment. Now, she agreed, knowing that this was really important to him. And because it takes so long, they sit in the living room and he watches TV or plays video games while she does it. At one point, he had an iPad and a Nintendo Switch in his lap. He was watching a YouTube video on the iPad when the little sister came in and leaned over his shoulder to see what he was watching. Now, he immediately paused the video and picked up the Nintendo so that she couldn't watch. Now, we all know he can't use more than one device at a time. So Dad asked him to give one of the devices to his sister. Dad said something like, "Hey man, if you're not using that, there's no reason she can't have one." He immediately got mad, gave her both devices, and told Dad that they always take her side and she gets everything she wants. She's spoiled. When Dad tried to say that he can only use one device at a time and it had nothing to do with her, he told both Mom and Dad to shut up. "Shut up! Stop talking to me." He continued in this way until he decided he didn't want to have anything to do with them. He got mad, went upstairs to do his hair by himself, and well, listen, that's not the end of the story. I'll be right back to tell you how it ends.
At Love Moves Us, we focus on serving and supporting families who foster or adopt because we want to see them flourish. Parenting is hard enough on its own, but parenting children who come from different backgrounds of trauma or even a different biological family brings its own unique challenges. If you're in the Chicago area, we'll be hosting an outdoor family gathering on December 19th. Take your family out, look at some Christmas lights, and even have some hot chocolate on us. We'll also be launching our very own app soon so that you can find more resources, support, and encouragement for your parenting journey.
So this boy's upstairs, mad that Dad asked him to give one of his two devices to his sisters, and he's trying to do his own hair. Dad knew that he needed a little time to cool down, so he waited. Now, he only waited for a few minutes because he didn't want the boy to get even more frustrated trying to do his own hair. And after a bit, Dad went upstairs and told him, "Hey man, I know that's got to be really hard to try and do your own hair, and I'm sure Mom would be willing to finish it for you. She's got to leave in a little bit, so if you want to come downstairs and try it again, I'm sure she'd be willing to help." And then he just walked away. Just left that there. He walked away and just let the kid think on that for a little bit because he knew that's what the boy needed. He needed space to make his own decision and not because his dad had said that's what he should do. Now, he came down after a few minutes and he was kind of confused. He didn't really understand what that meant to try again. What would he try? He didn't really know what to say. So Dad called him over and said, "Hey, listen, we're happy to help, but you have to show respect. You can't talk like that and get what you want. So if you want to try again, that just means to apologize and ask with respect." And he said, "My bad." And Dad knew that that was the best he was going to get. So he accepted that and he told him to go apologize to Mom and ask if she would help him finish his hair. He went over and said, "My bad," and just stood there. Mom just waited and helped prompt him to ask for help, which he did. And then they went back to finishing his hair. Crisis averted. Now, what are the principles in all this that you can use right now? First, we have to remember that at Christmas time can bring a lot of emotions in our kids. For those of us who are fostering and even those of us who have adopted, we have to keep in mind that our kids have another family. They have a birth family whom many of our children are missing greatly. And it's a lot to deal with. There's a lot of emotions that can go with that, and they're trying to make sense of it all. But here are the principles I want you to know, and I want you to begin using this month. Principle 1, it's not just what you say, it's how you say what you say. Your tone, your cadence, your volume, everything matters when you say something to your child, and it impacts how they will respond to it. Because see, I can say, "Hey, can you put that in the dishwasher?"
Hey, can you put that in the dishwasher?
But I can also say, "Hey, can you put that in the dishwasher?" I've learned that many times when I get more firm with my voice and sound more authoritative or structured, it often backfires. It ramps up the resistance. But if I can say the same thing with more playfulness and more of a smile, maybe even a bit of a ribbing or sarcasm for our teenagers, they respond really differently. You can say the same things, but just try changing how you say it. Yeah, I know. You can't always be playful, but there are far more things you say that you can say very differently that will impact the outcome and how it's received. I saw you eating candy in the living room. You leave cups all over the house. Now, you're not being kind or showing respect. The second principle here is to give your kids a chance to do the right thing the right way. There's no reason to drop a sledgehammer on a child for saying or doing something wrong. Ultimately, you want them to do it the right way anyway. So giving your kids a chance to try it again will help them build this muscle memory and learn to do the thing you actually want them to do. They'll learn to do it in the first place. When your child demands a cup of juice, you tell them to try asking with respect. When your kid is being nasty to his siblings, you tell them to try again and be kind. If they have no idea what to do, you give them the words or actions you're looking for. Don't make them guess. Don't make them struggle. They really don't know. So just give them the opportunity to make it right by doing the right thing. When your kid throws a big middle school fit by moaning and stomping when you ask them to vacuum, you ask them to go back where they were and to say, yes, ma'am, and walk without stomping to go get the vacuum. Now, in the story I told you about with the boy, he may or may not have been given a chance immediately to try again when he got disrespectful with his parents. But ultimately, at that point, he was dysregulated. And he wasn't able to do that thing. He needed some space. And that's your freebie third principle of the day, to give him some space. But listen, when dad went upstairs, he could have been confrontational. He could have dropped the hammer on the kid for being so disrespectful. And normally most of us would have probably lost our minds or been triggered or given the kid an earful, lecturing him on disrespect and taking away his privileges. But this parent kept his cool. He understood what was behind the behavior and that this child couldn't handle the confrontation when it happened. Dad didn't get all bent out of shape when the kid got disrespectful. He calmly let the boy have some space and came up to share with kindness and compassion that the child didn't deserve, that he could do it again. Now, how he said it made all the difference. He was slow, he was deliberate, and his voice was soft and calming. Don't get me wrong. That's not an easy thing to do, especially when your child has gone off on you and is yelling disrespectful things at you. But it's essential. Remain calm. Recognize how you are feeling and what's triggering you, but more importantly, recognize what's going on in your child and what he or she needs so you can respond appropriately. Then give them a chance to try again and do it the right way. The more you practice this, the more your kids will learn how to do it right on their own. And they'll practice this hundreds, if not thousands of times, doing that thing the right way. Then when they have trouble and you start to open your mouth, they'll catch themselves and correct themselves. I've seen it. I've lived it. I know parents who do this and practice this, and they see the same thing. So this month, just practice saying things with more kindness, empathy, and compassion. Give your child every opportunity to try again. The more you do it, the bigger difference you'll see. And it will work at Aunt Martha's house on Christmas Day when they demand pumpkin pie instead of asking with respect. Hey, if you found this video helpful, please do me a favor and click like below and share in the comments section what you found most helpful. Then make sure you subscribe to our channel. All of that will help make sure more parents like you can find this video and you won't miss an episode.